Hey y'all, it's Courtney, and I am back with another video, and today is a little bit of a serious one. Before I get started though, let me say a few things. First off, yesterday's video was a important video. It saved the koalas, and it's really important. The word needs to spread far and wide as far as we can possibly get it. So if you guys could just go to that video, give it a like, and leave a nice comment, or give it a dislike and leave a shitty comment. I don't even care, as long as it's getting engagement. I don't care if you want to go in on your 100 troll accounts and dislike it. Go ahead, go for it. Just give it engagement of some sort. Or share it on your Twitter, whatever you guys can do to spread that word and do your part to help the initiative, please do. I would very much appreciate it, and I very much appreciate all you guys that already have shared it. Awesome, thank you. I just think it's something really important because I didn't even know about this until about 2 weeks ago. So if I didn't know about it, it's hard to tell how many other people still don't know about it. So let's get that word out there, or make your own video. Whatever. However you want to get the word out, let's get the word out. Either share my video, like, comment, subscribe. Not subscribe, but yes, subscribe if you want to, but you don't have to subscribe. Just give it a like, comment, whatever, dislike, whatever you want to do to get that engagement out so YouTube pushes the video. Please do. So, this video today is going to be about the Kati Morton and Eugenia Cooney video that Kati Morton uploaded last night. And I'm just over this situation. So, let me say this. This is not like a hateful video. This is not putting anybody down. This is not to say that Eugenia or Kati are bad people, because I don't believe that. I believe there are hurt feelings, for sure. But I don't think bad people, no, I don't think. So this isn't like, go hate on these people, go tell them they're bad people, go tell them that they're bitches, nothing like that. Please don't, leave this video and go and leave a hateful comment or anything like that, because it's not worth your time to take time out of your day to go and leave a hate comment on anything. I mean, it's just not worth it, in my opinion. I mean, maybe to some people it's worth it to leave nasty comments to people, but I just don't see it. But don't do that after leaving my video, at the very least. If you want to know what video it is, it's on Kati Morton's channel. Kati Morton is a licensed family and marriage therapist. I know she's not like a psychologist or psychiatrist. She's like a counselor or therapist. She's, under those higher ups. I think it's basically like how a CNA, there's like CNA, LPN, RN, and there's one above the RN, nurse practitioner. You guys get it. There's levels to this shit, and I'm pretty sure she's like second from the bottom. So, she did a video with Eugenia Cooney, and it was about Eugenia Cooney's 5150 story. If you guys don't know what that is, yeah, I'm sure you guys know who Eugenia Cooney is. She's a young lady that finally came out and did say that she suffered with eating disorder. She's never said what exactly, but everybody's pretty sure that it's anorexia. That being said, everybody was freaking out, saying this girl needed help. She's gonna die. So one of her good friends at the time, Jacqueline Hill, did a 5150 on her. And so this is the story of how all that went. There's lots of videos on this subject. There is Shane Dawson videos on the subject. There's Jacqueline Glenn's side on the subject. There's so many sides on the subject. So do I think that it's wrong that Eugenia got to tell her side of the situation? No, no, not inherently. I don't think it's wrong. Maybe how she went about getting her side out is probably a little bit wrong. Because honestly, I don't even feel that video was even really about Jacqueline or her 5150 story. More on that in a second. I'll tell you what I think the video was really about. I think she should be able to tell her side. And you guys know me, I'm an empathetic mother. The empathy, it just pours out of me, and I hate it sometimes because, you know, if there's any time or anybody that can see every side of a situation, it's me. And so it's very hard for me to pick a side, or in most situations. There are certain situations where, no, you're just fucking wrong, you know? But it's usually not that easy in a situation. There's usually 15 ways you could look at a situation. And that's why I like to talk about this kind of stuff, because usually I can look at it in all different 15 ways and understand. Because I go back and forth all the time between, well, you know, it was wrong about this, but I do understand because of this, and, you know, so I go back and forth. So I do like to make these videos because I do understand all sides. So there's all that. So honestly, I don't even think this video was even about her 5150 story. Which it was, obviously, because that's what they spoke about. But I just like how in the very beginning, she mentions her mother and brings the fact that her mom did talk about it with her, and her mom wasn't neglectful of her eating disorder, and her mother wasn't okay with what was going on. It's very strange that that was like the first thing front and center that she wanted to make apparent to everybody, was that her mom's not a bad person. Her mom's not controlling. Her mom is not, you know, all these things that everybody knows that she is. I honestly feel like this was a video to try to make her mom look better, disguised as my 5150 story. Do you understand what I mean? And Kati Morton was very disingenuous in this video because she pat Eugenia's ass the whole time. And she enabled her. She 100% enabled her. And as I said, do I feel like Eugenia should be able to tell her side? Absolutely. But maybe not nod your head in agreement over everything she says. Because not everything that she said was 100% factual. Like the fact that she said that her and Jacqueline weren't even really friends. They were friendly, but not good friends, like Jacqueline said they were. That is so not true. They made videos together. They talked about how they thought of each other as sisters. I mean, anybody that watched those two for any amount of time knew that they were good friends. So, the fact that she's now going back and saying that they weren't really even that close is very strange to me. Well, no, it's not strange to me because she's trying to portray a narrative. And it's that my mom's good, they're the bad guys. And going into that subject, it's very strange to me because she uses the fact that her mother, and I don't even believe that her mother did talk to her about that situation, because two or three different times in the video she changes when she had this conversation with her mother. She says she had a conversation with her mother right before. It was a few days before, and then it was the day before, and then it was the morning of the 5150 that she had this conversation with her mother. She couldn't keep it straight when they had this conversation. You just have to watch the video and you can just tell that she's making it up as she goes, or it feels that way at least, because she can't keep her story straight. So she's trying to make her mother look like this saint because she did care and she did say something about it. But then Jacqueline actually put it into action and cared enough to get everything going and get her help and make sure that she got the help. But she's a bad guy? I don't understand. How can your mom be this hero for doing it, but then when somebody else does it for you because they care too, it makes them the bad guy? I don't understand. And she's saying the reason why it was wrong because they weren't even really friends. But you were. And I understand feeling, what's the word I'm looking for? Betrayed, maybe? She felt betrayed, I'm sure. You're angry, you're upset, you're confused. You don't know what's going on, you're terrified. You don't know where you're going, you don't know what's going to happen when you get there, you don't know anything. So it is a very traumatic situation. It is very scary going to get help for anything, any type of issue. Even whenever I went and got clean the first time, I was terrified because I didn't know what was going to happen. And that was getting off of drugs. That wasn't, an eating disorder. I mean, I would imagine that they're pretty similar feeling because they're both addictions. An eating disorder, you have an addiction to a way of treating food. So I'm sure that it's panicky feeling for them too, just like it would be for knowing that you're never going to have drugs again. Being an addict, it's scary. It's scary to admit you need help, go get the help, especially whenever it's just sprung on you all of a sudden. So I get it, I do. But you can't make one person look like a saint for just mentioning that you need help, but then somebody else, a demon, for getting you the help. It's very disingenuous. And I feel that Kati Morton should have at least maybe put like I did in the beginning of this, put a disclaimer at the beginning. I'm not saying that everything that happened was okay or wasn't okay, and I find it highly disingenuous. I don't know why I didn't start out saying this, but it's highly disingenuous. I'm going to stop saying disingenuous, I promise. But of Kati Morton to do this video, and it's kind of like a spit in the face to Eugenia getting help, because she's patting her on the ass and yesing the whole way through, but not mentioning that she's the one that told Jacqueline how to do all this. Jacqueline Glenn knew how to do this 5150 only because Kati Morton talked her through it. Right? And I already knew this, but for people that didn't know this, you can go on Jacqueline Glenn's Twitter page, and she posted proof of where she was talking back and forth with Kati Morton in emails and having phone conversations with her, and Kati Morton's telling her the next step to do. Thank you for updating me. Here's what you do next. This is what you need to do. Telling her, I know it's hard to lose a friend, but you're doing the right thing. It can't be both ways, my dude. You can't tell somebody how to go and do this and give them a step-to-step how-to and tell them that they're doing the right thing, but then go to the person that it was done to and also tell them that they're right. Now let me say this, though, and this is where my empathy comes in, or this is where my understanding comes in. At the same time, I do understand Kati being like, I understand, I get it, blah, blah, blah. Because you want to validate the way anybody feels. Especially as a counselor. Because if you tell them you're wrong, they're going to clam up on you. They're going to shut down. They're not going to want to talk to you. They won't trust you. It's just, setting up for a bad situation if you tell somebody they're wrong first thing into a therapy situation. But she's not her therapist. She was coming at her like a therapist or a counselor, but she's not her counselor or her therapist. And I just think that this is a really bad move on both their parts, because it made them look both really bad, especially waiting this long. And that's another thing that I would like to say, is they waited all this time, and Eugenia is still very hurt and very non-understanding, and she still doesn't get it. She does not understand why they did what they did. 99% of the time, when somebody does an intervention or 5150 or whatever, once they've had so long to let it sink in and everything's calmed down and you start thinking and understanding more where the other person's coming. Of course, at first you're going to be upset. Of course, anybody is going to react upset. Well, not everybody, but most of the time people are upset. They feel, blindsided, and they feel betrayed, and that's normal. But normally after the dust settles, they get time to think about what they would do if it was somebody that they loved, or if it was the person that did it to them. What would they do if the roles were reversed? You would do the same thing, because you love this person and you don't want anything bad to happen to them. So of course you're going to do everything that you can. But she just doesn't feel that way. You can tell that she's still just pissed about it. And there's no telling her that what they did was the right thing, when it clearly was. They were worried about their friend. They didn't want her to die in front of their eyes. You would think that she would at least be grateful for her life, if nothing else. She even said in the video that she still has a hard time seeing it from other people's point of view, because she feels like she was fine. She said that in the video. So it's clear to me that she might have went and stayed for 30 days, but she's not out of the woods. Because she's still in that sick way of thinking. She's still sick up here. She might have gained a little bit of weight, but her mind's still sick. There's just so many things that I could say about this video, and I wish that I would have written them down, because you guys know I have the memory span of a squirrel. Maybe not even a squirrel, probably a hamster or a goldfish. So I can't believe I've gotten through this far and not had to be like, But I think I was pretty, hyped up about the situation and pretty, irritated enough to where I've been thinking about it. The whole time I've been doing my makeup, I've just been like, oh, and that's another thing. Oh, yeah, what about that part? And just, getting more and more upset the more I think about it, because for me, when I met Mike and he told me it's either me or the drugs, I was almost like it was a weight off my shoulders, because I finally had a reason